Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to talk about Jesus living with us. Are you a better giver or receiver? Now, I suppose it depends on what you're giving or receiving, right? My mother, she is a giver. She finds great joy in blessing people over and over and over again. She is a true example of a cheerful giver. Well, those who follow Jesus get to be the recipients of endless gifts. How so? Listen to what John writes. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory. Glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness about him and cried out, "This was he of whom I said, he who comes after me ranks before me, because he was before me." For from his fullness we have all received grace upon grace. For the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. No one has ever seen God, the only God, who is at the Father's side. He has made him known. John begins in verse 13 by saying, "The Word," that is Jesus Christ. The divine Word became flesh. Now, let's pause there. You see, some cults, apostate churches, and cynics claim that Jesus became God, or was a god, or some other variation. That is not what the Bible teaches. The Bible teaches that Jesus Christ always existed and has been in a relationship with God the Father and God the Holy Spirit. You see, according to the Bible, there is one God and three persons. 2,000 years ago, Jesus Christ took on flesh. He remained fully God while taking on human flesh. And then, John says that he dwelt among us. He set up shop. He moved into the neighborhood. He didn't set up a webcam and watch. He didn't drive in for a cameo and then go back to his hotel. No, Jesus Christ was born and lived among us. Jesus experienced all that we experience. That is incredible. And because of who Jesus Christ is, and because of a relationship with him, you can receive grace upon grace. Well, what is grace? Simply, it's a gift. According to Ephesians chapter 1, God's spiritual children are the recipients of every heavenly blessing. God promises to meet his children's needs. Psalm 23:1 reminds us that as his sheep, we will lack nothing. He gives us exactly what we need. And this passage reminds us that he will grace us out again and again and again. Now, this doesn't mean that we get anything we want when we want it. But it does mean that God's grace, those gifts, they will continue to flow. And it is first and best met in his gift of salvation and peace with God. That gift is also realized in seeing God face to face through Jesus Christ. I hope you are amazed because I am too. So here's my challenge for you today. Receive and then give the grace. We all have above and beyond what we deserve. So how can you receive God's grace and then pass it on to someone else? Allow God's grace upon grace to spill into the life of someone else. When you receive and give God's grace, we all will win the day.